Pastors and leaders, in this video I want to talk about how to create a mentor-based youth ministry using the resources at pursuegod.org. Now, this is all about moving toward creating a mentoring culture, a discipleship culture in your church, and hopefully you see that that also includes your youth ministry. So let's just talk through this real quick. This can be found under groups and mentoring. You can also find this under ministry tools at the youth team page under teams and training. So here's the idea. Most youth ministries measure their success by the number of students that are in attendance each week, but really a lot of those students never really go full circle in their faith, and the result is another generation of consumers. And here's what we mean by full circle. A full circle pursuit of God is a pursuit of God that where the youth, the student is trusting Jesus, comes to faith in Christ, learns to see it God's way, lives to honor God on a regular basis in his or her life, and then really going full circle means that also he's maturing by helping others, that he knows how to mentor, that he's in the game, he knows what that means, and he's being empowered by his youth leaders, his parents, to do that. And this is a pursuit of God. You can learn more about this in our foundations class. But again, the point is that a full circle student is doing these things. And that's why a youth or a mentoring-based youth ministry introduces this new paradigm. And you can pull this off. 3 simple steps. Okay, first of all, envision a mentor tree for your youth ministry. So you want to sketch that out. And so that just means you're asking the question, who's in my first circle? You can go ahead and download this worksheet to go through this exercise with some of your leaders. But the basic idea is this. So here's your mentoring tree, and you're saying who are these youth leaders that I want to put in my first circle? Now, maybe it's several, maybe it's up to 5, maybe it's only 1 or 2. And the whole point to this is you're thinking about who you're going to lead, and then down the road, you're going to help them think about who they're going to lead. And again, what we mean by leading is leading through this mentoring thing. And so that's what step 2 is. Start mentoring your first circle. Your youth pastor, your key youth leaders, start mentoring them. If you want to create a mentoring culture, it starts with you. So you can't preach about mentoring, you have to actually do it with them. So I encourage you to, the first conversation you can go through is how groups and mentoring work. You can go through some of these other training modules at the youth team page, which again, you can find under ministry tools. And then of course, this is really important, don't be a maverick. You have to stick to the simple flex method to mentor your first circle, because what you're going to do in step 3 is you're going to empower your first circle to do the same thing. So if you're not using a simple reproducible method in mentoring your folks, the youth leaders, the youth pastor, then certainly they're going to be mavericks and they're not going to use that same method to mentor others. And the whole point is, when you're using that method, now you're empowering them to go and do the same exact thing, that they know what the mentor tree is, they know the org chart, that they start mentoring as well, and now that mentoring culture can start taking place and reach all the way down to the students, even in junior high, in your youth ministry. So that's real quickly how to create a mentor-based youth ministry. Now go ahead and use the discussion questions and check out some of the other resources on this topic below this video.